Right, hello there, thrill seekers. As you can see, I'm still inside. It's stopped raining, but it's still really wet out there, so I thought I'd stay inside, and we'll see. I don't know, maybe inside's good, maybe outside's good, I don't know. But that song you heard was Slip Inside This House. That's another Rocky Erickson song from his days in the 13th floor elevators. And that was my version by way of the version by Primal Scream, which was sort of popular, if anybody remembers the Primal Scream version on their Screamadelica album. So that was my mashup of the 13th floor elevators version and the Primal Scream version. So, I got an email the other day, and here is the email, and here is the question I got asked, and it goes like this. How do I let go of my desires when I feel like my desires and goals are what keep me going in this life and what ultimately make life worth living? And when I answered this person, she sent me back an email saying that she thought my answer was really wise. So I'm gonna read you my answer. I didn't think it was that wise, but I'll just read you what I sent. I said, "Are they? I get what you're asking, but I sometimes ask myself if that's true. On the one hand, my teacher rejected the idea that Buddhism was about getting rid of desires and goals. Getting rid of is different from letting go. You cannot rid yourself of the desire for food and oxygen, for example. Other desires are also built into what we are, so we can't be free from them. Letting go, that's as opposed to getting rid, implies not being rid of them or even necessarily being completely free of them. It means not being totally in the thrall of them or being possessed by them. I desire many things, but I won't ever have them all. And even if I had them, they'd become a problem for me. Every shiny thing I've wanted and then managed to get has eventually become a burden to some extent. I think if any of us examine the things we possess honestly, we can see that. I have goals too, but do I only want to live because there are goals I want to accomplish? I don't think so. That's part of it, but it's not everything. Goals are there, but I know that even if I accomplish my goals, I won't be satisfied. So it's okay with me if I don't accomplish them." And so that's what I said. And as I mentioned in the email that I sent back to this person, my teacher rejected that idea. Okay, so I guess I should rewind a little bit and say that my teacher... Okay, I should rewind a little bit more. There is a common understanding of Buddhism that the Buddha said, all life is suffering, the cause of suffering is desire, the way to overcome suffering or get rid of suffering is to get rid of desire, and the way to get rid of desire is to follow the Noble Eightfold Path, and the Eightfold Path actually outlined that. If you want to go back a few videos ago, it's a path of ethical action, and it's in my book, actually, in my newest book called The Other Side of Nothing. I go through all 8 folds of the Eightfold Path, so go out and buy my new book if you want to know what the Eightfold Path is, or if you want to learn quickly, you're on YouTube right now, you're on the internet, so type in Eightfold Path and you'll get all the 8 folds of the Eightfold Path. So, my teacher rejected the idea that Buddhism was about overcoming, or actually about getting rid of desire, because he said you can't get rid of desire, you're always going to have some kind of desire. But he said, he also agreed, at least in part, on the idea of it's about letting go of desire. So desire is just kind of natural. It comes up. You desire stuff. You desire to breathe, you desire to eat, you desire to sleep. If you're a functioning person, at least below a certain age, I'm getting to the age of, anyway, we won't get into what age I am and how I'm getting to. But if you're below a certain age, you desire sex, for example, and you're always going to have like that coming up. You're going to have a lot of things coming up, and even when you get older, you desire other things. I desire guitars, and I desire musical equipment, and I desire things that make it possible for me to entertain you folks out there, like I said in the video earlier, I desire a new mic stand because the stand I've got this microphone on. I don't know if you heard that noise. I just poked the mic, but anyway, the stand I got this mic on is not really adequate, and I need to go out to Guitar Center or somewhere and get a new stand. Anyway, we all desire things, so. I guess the question, though, is not just about that. It's about if you get rid of desires and goals, how are you going to have what's going to make life worth living? Well, number one, you're not going to get rid of desires and goals, so don't worry about it. You're gonna have desires and goals, and that's just that. So you're just gonna keep on having them. So don't worry that you're gonna get rid of all your desires and goals. So there's no problem there. Nothing is gonna make you get rid of all your desires and goals. So if that's what your worry is about, then you don't have anything to worry about. Number two, do your desires and goals make life worth living? I don't know. I mean, I have my desires and goals, as I said, but everything that just examining the things I've desired and then gotten, what happens? Look at all these books I got. I desired this book on Led Zeppelin. I didn't desire that one that badly. I just saw it and it was on sale, so I got it. But I desired this one pretty badly. I saw this for a long time and I was like, ooh, Zappa gear. I'm really into Zappa. And then it became kind of hard to find this book, and then I found it, and then I got it. And then I'm like, oh boy. And now I got it, and now it's on my shelf. And then when I moved, I had to move this book. It becomes kind of a burden. It becomes a thing you have. Anything you have, any goal you have just becomes something you have, and now you got to deal with it. So every shiny thing that you chase, whether it's a shiny material object, that object is going to become something that you have, and now you got to take care of it, and you got to do something about it, and it's an actual thing you got to do something about. Or if it's an experience that you've chased after, well, some of those experiences take a lot of work and a lot of different stuff you got to do to accomplish them. And then once you've accomplished them, there might be complications involved, and there's stuff, so they always become a problem. So every desire brings a problem with it. So realize that. I think that's what the Buddha was trying to point out with the nature of desires. The desire always seems like a shiny thing, and it always seems like, ooh, if I get that, everything's going to be great. Well, everything's not going to be great when you get your desire. That's what he was trying to say. Everything's not going to be great when you get your desire. So what keeps you going? That was the follow-up question. And I thought, well, I don't know. You got to do something. So I desire to write another book, so I'm going to write another book, and that keeps me going. I desire to make a video, and so I'm making a video, and that keeps me going, because I like to do stuff, and I'm doing stuff, and this is, it seems like I'm not sure if my desires are what makes me do stuff. I guess there's a relationship between desire and making me do stuff, but I kind of feel like I think stuff is going to be done whether I desire to do it or not, and I'm just going to kind of flow along with it. So is that what keeps me going? Desiring things and having goals? I don't think that really is it. I don't see that as being it. And even when I don't have something I desire to accomplish, there's always something that has to be done. I gotta rake the leaves, even in California, enough leaves fall that you gotta rake them in the fall, in the autumn. So you gotta rake the leaves. Do I desire to rake the leaves? Well, not really, but it's something that's gotta be done. Everything's gotta be done. So that's that. And then somebody else asked me a question which I have pondered over ever since I got asked the question, which is, what's the difference between desire and delusion? And I never heard it put that way. And I guess all desires are a kind of delusion, because in a sense, when you have a desire, you have the delusion that satisfying that desire is going to make you happy. And I guess satisfying that desire will make you happy for a time. Like when I got this book about Ultraman Leo. Ultraman Leo is not a fan favorite among the Ultraman fans. They always kind of regard Ultraman Leo as kind of like the not very good Ultraman series, and I actually really like Ultraman Leo because it's so weird. And so this book was hard to come by. I missed it when it first came out, and I kind of slept on it. I didn't get it, and then when I found a copy, I had to find it online and get it. And so I desired it, and I got it, and it made me happy. It's like, woo, I got it. But then it becomes a thing. So there's a delusion. I had the delusion that getting this book was going to make me happy, but it's not going to make me eternally happy. And I get it, and then it's just on the shelf there, and I haven't looked at it for months. I might look at it now that I pulled it out of the shelf. I might go look at it after I finish doing this video and go, oh, look, that's pretty cool. But that's what it does for me. It's so there's a delusion involved in desire. So desire always has a hint of delusion to it. But I'm not sure how I can answer that question about whether desire and delusion are the same thing. But anyway, I don't know if that's a good answer or a bad answer. But I don't feel that goals and desires are what keeps me going. I feel like I'm gonna go. I'm gonna keep going, and desires are there, but that's not my motivation. And if it is, it's not my main motivation. Anyway, that's that. I hope you enjoyed the song and the talk, and I got another Rocky Erickson song that I worked on just before I made this video, so I got another one ready for you tomorrow, and hopefully I'll have another video topic ready for you tomorrow. I got something brewing, but I'm not sure I'm not sure what I'm gonna do for tomorrow's video. Anyway, if you want to support me making more songs and more videos, you can go to the URL that you should be seeing on the screen below, which is hardcorezen.info/donate. That is hardcorezen.info/donate. There you will find links to my PayPal and my Patreon accounts. Those are my main and usually only ways of making a living, and I appreciate your support. But as always, this is offered for freezels, so you don't gotta support me if you don't want to support me. We will see you next time. Have a good time all the time. Bye. Ziggy, do doggies have desires? I guess doggies have desires too. They want to go out, and they want to get treats, and they want to see their doggy friends. Yeah. What do you do about your desires? Is that what keeps you going? Probably not. Anyway, I gotta go finish this video. So we'll talk to you later. Bicycles.